Trade is central to Brexit. Tell us more about what Liam Fox will have to say.
Hi, good morning to you. Well, what Britain lacks in good weather, it does make up for in the strength of its services sector. And that's what Liam Fox will be talking about today. The services sector is the part of the economy that does things rather than simply make things for others. And Britain is actually the second biggest exporter of services in the world. And in his speech today, the International Trade Secretary will point out that there are significant barriers still in world trade rules to the trade of services. And I think the subtext to all this is that, Liam Fox is a passionate Brexiteer, and he wants to single out the UK as a potential shaker-up of world trade in a post-Brexit environment. The context, though, to all this is that just over a week ago, he had to admit that of 40 international trade deals that Britain currently benefits from under its EU membership, not one will be ready to take off to resume once Britain exits the bloc. And that's quite an embarrassing state of affairs for him.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Tiger, we've been hearing that a third of businesses in the UK, and this is according to the Institute of Directors in a survey they've carried out, will be considering relocating post-Brexit. And if we put this in context of that EU-Japan trade deal, it's kind of a difficult time for Britain, isn't it?
Yes, certainly. I mean, there has been an enormous focus here on the companies that are relocating. Usually it's parts of their operations to other locations within the EU so they can continue to benefit from EU regulations and avoid any new trade barriers that come up. Sometimes it's small, sometimes not so small. The car maker Jaguar Land Rover recently cited Brexit as one of the reasons that it was going to cut many thousands of jobs here. The reality, of course, is that we still don't know or can't be absolutely sure on what terms Britain will leave the EU. Companies were broadly supportive of Theresa May's withdrawal agreement as being pretty friendly to their interests, but of course no deal does indeed still remain on the table. And yes, contrast that with the other news today, the fact that the world's single biggest trading bloc, the EU, is now implementing a new trade deal with the world's number 3 economy, Japan, and tearing down the vast majority of trade barriers between them. Meanwhile, critics of the Leave project here say that Britain will benefit from this deal for just 57 days. And it is some of the Japanese car makers that are here in Britain employing tens of thousands of people, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, who have been most vocal about the pitfalls of Brexit and have been having frequent meetings up the street here in Downing Street about it. Of course, what Brexit does do is that it frees up the government to give them kind of sweetheart subsidy deals to stay here, but many of them will be weighing up whether the disruption will actually be worth it.